Hello, it's Doris with All the Books, and I have a pseudo TBR here for you. I am not going to read all of these books in January. I have decided that this year I'm going to have a focus each month. Some focuses are more specific and some are more loosey-goosey, like my birthday month. But this month is quite focused. It's on books written set in the Middle East or by Middle Eastern authors or authors of Muslim or Jewish descent. I'm very excited about it. I've been really curious to understand more of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict and how that Jewish homeland came to be. So I think I will learn more about that this month. I think it's an important topic. So anyway, I'm just going to briefly run through these books, and there's quite a collection here. If there's any that you've read and want to share your thoughts on them, or any that you're interested in me really reading so that you can hear more on them, please let me know in the comments, because, you know, like I said, I can't read them all, so tell me which ones I should read. So jumping right in, I have Furthermore by Tahira Mafi, and oh my gosh, I didn't know she was married to Ransom Riggs. How cool is that? Anyway, this one I've actually started is quite fun. It's a middle grades fantasy set in, furthermore, a fantasy world. But Tahira Mafi is an Iranian-American author, and she has also just put out Witchwood, which, oh my gosh, these covers are to die for. So this has really been quite delightful thus far. It's very whimsical, and it reminds me a lot of Catherine M. Valente's The Girl Who Circumnavigated Fairyland series. So yeah, enjoying that. And then I picked this one up quite recently, Home Fire by Camilla Shamsi. And this one is it's a retelling of something, and I can't remember what at the moment. But I'm really drawn to this now that I didn't look at, you know, what it was about when people were talking about it on BookTube. I wasn't interested in the moment, but once I brought it home, I'm really intrigued. I'm the youngest of 5 children, and you know, I just know how much we all mean to each other and the ways that we help each other through the years. And so this one is some siblings and how they're reaching out to each other. The one brother, I think, gets involved in an ISIS group, and the sisters are trying to help him out with that. So yeah, I've heard great things about this. And this author is Pakistani, I believe, living in London. And then we have Mohsin Hamid, another Pakistani writer, and he is currently famous for Exit West that was all over BookTube last year. And I liked that okay. It didn't blow me out of the water. It was a little iffy in certain places, but I liked other things about it. So I'm kind of really curious to see how I feel about this one, The Reluctant Fundamentalist. See what I feel about that. An author that I'm not on the fence about is Khaled Hosseini. This guy is originally from Afghanistan, and he is brilliant. I've read his other 2 works, The Kite Runner, which is a hard read. It's so hard, but the story of redemption in it is just gorgeous. And then A Thousand Splendid Suns is also really beautiful and not quite as harsh. It's a little bit more gentle around the edges, not really. But anyway, great book. So I know that I'm going to love this one as well. And then we have Salt Houses by Hala Alian, and I believe this one was Palestinian American. I was trying so hard to remember all of them, but you know, my memory is not so great. But I hear this is a story of kind of a diaspora of a family. They're scattered from their homeland to different countries far and wide through generations. So looking forward to that. And then a couple more that have been recommended to me, I'm going to finally make a point to get to. Riyadh Sattouf, The Arab of the Future. So yeah, and these are actually nonfiction memoirs. And then some books by Jewish authors. We have the Night Trilogy by Elie Wiesel. Now, Night is nonfiction memoir of his account of the Holocaust, and it's a must read. The thing that really interests me about, I mean, Elie Wiesel is a brilliant man who, you know, has really processed what happened to him and has tried to make a difference with that information out in the world. He's famous for having said that the opposite of love isn't hate, it's apathy. Yeah, just, he's something that you need to experience. Night is what people commonly experience, but this trilogy is so unique in that I read Dawn, and it's just a short story and set in Palestine with the militancy that some of the Jews after the Holocaust in the Jewish homeland and became very we're not going to ever let that happen to us again. It's really hard to read, and very different from most of the Jewish literature you get from the Holocaust period. This is post-Holocaust. And then Day is the one that I haven't read in this story, and this is another theme that Elie Wiesel writes about. And I'm going to read off the book jacket. In Day, Wiesel questions the limits of conscience. Can Holocaust survivors forge a new life despite their memories? So it's this battle that he's had with himself and that others have had as well of, how do I go on, and why do I even have a right to be happy after everything that happened? So I'm really looking forward to reading this. I think I'm going to pick it up next because I've been wanting to read it for quite some time, and I finally got this in the mail Friday, I believe. So, and then I cannot believe I haven't read Mouse. These are also nonfiction memoirs set in Poland during the Holocaust. So the author is writing about his father's memories. And then I have The Weight of Ink by Rachel Kadish. This is, I believe I read that her grandmother was a Russian Jewish immigrant to the States. And I don't exactly recall what this book is about at all. Oops. But I know I put it as a 5-star prediction, so I need to get to it this month for sure. Then, oh wait, no, she is of Jewish descent. This is the one that was, she writes for Jewish literary magazines, sorry. But this woman, Alice Hoffman, who is famous for some other books, the magic book, Practical Magic, she's the one that her grandmother was Russian Jewish descent, yeah. So this one is a historical fiction set, nearly 2,000 years ago. 900 Jews were held out for months against armies of Romans on Masada. And it's about 4 women leading that holdout. So yeah, I've had this all last year, and I didn't realize that Alice Hoffman was such a well-known author. So another one that I need to get to. And then Amos Oz, Judas. I believe this one was set in the 60s. And it says it's an exquisite love story and coming of age novel. I believe this one's set in Israel. I'm not 100% on that. But Sophie really loved this one a couple years ago, so I picked it up because she has great taste. And then I found Scenes from Village Life, also by Amos Oz, and I thought this was a short story collection, but it's apparently a series of connected stories into a short novel. And then this last one, In the Land of Armadillos by Helen Merrills Shankman. I didn't even know what this one was about when I bought it. I just bought it because it had armadillos on the cover. And I saw it in Book Outlet. And it had birds on the cover, and it was called something about the family. The title is completely different. So this is the UK edition, and it has a completely different title and cover than the US edition, which has little birds all over it, and it's really pretty as well. And I kind of wanted them both, but I'm not the type to buy multiple copies of the same book. So anyway, I collect armadillos, and this is set in Poland during the war years. It's about the Holocaust, and I am just really curious how the armadillos fit in because armadillos are indigenous to North and South America. So why are they in Poland? I don't know. I'm curious, but I'm definitely sidetracked right now. So let's get back to it. Got 4 more here. This one I think will be the heart of the month for me. Genesis by John B. Judas. This is Truman, American Jews, and the Origins of the Arab-Israeli Conflict. And this had really good reviews on Goodreads, so I think it'll be a good nonfiction source for that question that I had at the beginning of this video. So I'm definitely going to be reading this one. I have Life in Year One, What the World Was Like in First Century Palestine by Scott Korb. This was just a little book that my friend in Kentucky was getting rid of, and so I grabbed it. I thought, you know, why not? It looks like a quick read, nonfiction. And then I threw The Good Immigrant into the mix. This is various essays, the immigrant perspective in the UK, so I think that'll fit in nicely. And another nonfiction, Letters to a Young Muslim by Omar Saif Gobash. And this guy is the United Arab Emirates, the ambassador to Russia. So I know I've seen this several times on BookTube last year as well. So those are the books I am going to be pulling from this month. There are also a few random other non-related to this topic that I will be reading as well, but you know, those will be a surprise. So, but let me know if you saw any that were particularly interesting or that you have read and have comments on. I would love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon. Bye.